Hello and welcome to Smart Money. I'm Avni Raja. On this show, we guide you on how to make the most of your money and build wealth. Let's take a look at what we have on the show this week. Our top story today: how will the 25 basis point rate cut impact your home loans and fixed income investments? And as always, we help you with your financial portfolio and queries. RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan has cut the repo rate by 25 basis points, which means that home loans are likely to get cheaper. But it's not just that. Falling interest rates also provide a boost for your fixed income investments. To discuss all of this, I'm joined by CA Harsh Rungta, registered investment advisor and personal finance expert. Thanks very much, Harsh, for joining in today on the show. So let me start by asking you, we've seen a 25 basis points rate cut. We've seen liquidity measures being infused by the RBI. And we recently saw small savings schemes also seeing their rates come down. Now, the banks clearly have no excuse to sort of do anything but to cut their home loan rates.
I think before the home loan rates cuts come, significant ones come, right? You will see deposit rates fall. Even that might take a little time because deposit growth has been pretty tepid, I think, over the last quarter. So there could be a lag, but one, deposit rates are going to come down clearly. And when deposit rates come down, at least as far as new borrowers are concerned, I think they will clearly see lower rates.
How much are you expecting banks to sort of bring down rates by, and what kind of an impact, say, would a 25 basis points cut from banks have on borrowers?
If you take a home loan, and if you take, say, a 20-year home loan, typically a 25 basis point cut, I think, works out to about 16 rupees per lakh. So if you have a 50 lakh loan, you're talking of a 800 rupees reduction in an EMI. So I think it is it may not sound too big, but I think the cumulative drop that we have seen, I think, and what we hopefully will see, I think that will really help people to balance their budgets and to be able to borrow the amounts that they need to borrow.
Right. So Harsh, whenever there is a rate cut from the RBI and banks in turn start transmitting, we see a whole lot of fixed schemes sort of coming out from banks. What is your advice for borrowers, on these fixed schemes that banks tend to launch at such a time?
I mean, you need to be nutty to be wanting to do a fixed scheme now. I mean, the whole world knows that the rates are going to come down. The argument can be when they are going to come down. So if they are going to come down, why would you want to lock yourself into a fixed rate? So I think the key issue is, if you look at the way the MCLR is structured, the banks are in, one of the big issues facing the bank is that they bring in a customer by giving him a rate, a good rate, but after that when the rates fall, they don't continue to give him a good rate. And therefore he moves out. There is no prepayment charge, remember.
Right.
And to prevent that, if they do a 3-year fixed rate, in which case if the customer moves out during that tenure, there can be and will be a prepayment charge.
Okay.
And that prevents the customer from leaving. And that is the reason banks like this 3-year fixed.
Yes.
First 3 years fixed and floating thereafter. It makes no sense for consumers. So I think they should stay well away.
Right. And there may be a small number, but there are those people who do have some sort of a fixed rate, could possibly with their loans. What would be the advice for them?
Shift. I mean, it's simple because those fixed rates would be at pretty high rates.
Right.
Even after paying a prepayment premium, those people are likely to be, I mean, each loan needs to be seen. So, I mean, I'm just giving a thumb of the rule. Typically, if you're getting, say, a 1% less and the tenure left is quite a lot, it would make a fair amount of sense to shift.
Right. Also, let's talk about the MCLR. How would this really impact new borrowers, and what would be the impact on existing borrowers?
See, new borrowers, as usual, will get what is the most competitive rate in the market because they have a choice.
Right.
I think as far as existing borrowers are concerned, just like in 2010, when we shifted from the prime lending rate system to the base rate system, there was this huge constituency of borrowers who had to shift over to the new system at a lower rates. And so those, I think that is now the guys who have borrowed till 31st March of 2016. They will either shift to lower rates within the same lender or they will shift out to another lender. I think that's a process that we will see happening over the next 1 year. New borrowers, as I said, as usual, will get competitive rates. The point to be watched is that today's new borrowers, what's going to happen to him in the MCLR regime when he's become an old borrower,
Right.
6 months later or 9 months later, needs to be seen. Really, it's very difficult at this stage to say whether he will be treated better under the MCLR system than he was under the base rate system.
Okay. Shifting focus, Harsh, let's talk about, how fixed income investments and your debt funds get impacted by falling interest rates. What would you see now as how yields would respond going forward?
So, I mean, yields have now been falling since
Yes.
after the budget, the yields have been falling. And I mean, there could be marginal ups and downs depending on what markets expected. But as a trend, they have been falling since the budget was announced. And I think that maybe the degree might lessen off, but we clearly see, I think, general consensus is that yields would soften
Okay.
even from here. And when they do, your existing investments in debt funds, they, because that is inversely proportional to
Right.
it. As interest rates drop, the value of your debt securities increase.
yeah.
So I think existing investors in debt funds, gilt funds, and the longer term gilt funds or longer term bond funds would have benefited and would probably benefit even more.
Right. So we're soon going to come to the end of the falling interest rate environment. The RBI will possibly take a pause once there've probably been 1 or 2 more rate cuts. Given this scenario, how should investors position their debt funds portfolio now, given that there may be a few 1 or 2 maybe more rate cuts coming in, and then once the RBI goes into a pause mode, what should be the strategy then?
So I think there is already a fair bit of debate whether the easing cycle itself is already
Correct.
over. Is the elbow room already over, or there is probably some more room left? I think probably dependent on the monsoon.
Yes.
But assuming there is one more round of easing, etc., I think it is about time that fixed income investors, people who invest in debt and gilt funds, should look at going towards the lower end of doing short-term bonds, or if they're very aggressive, maybe medium-term bonds.
Okay.
But I would recommend that they should definitely lower the period, and therefore probably a dynamic bond where the fund manager dynamically manages the periodicity. I think that might not be such a bad idea.
All right. We'll leave it there, this conversation here for now, Harsh.
Thank you.
All right. Time for a quick break. We'll come back and take up your financial queries. Keep watching Smart Money.